So, good afternoon, Alfred.
Good afternoon, Chris.
How are you and who are you?
I feel well, thanks. My name is Alfred. I am living in San Feliu de Guíxols, in the northwest of Catalonia. We are about, 70 kilometers from the French border, and I work as a salesman. I work in
So, good
aluminum
afternoon,
industry,
Alfred.
and we make windows and
How are you?
this kind of stuff.
Did you go to vote today?
I tried, but I couldn't vote. It has been a bit complicated. First of all, in the morning, there was a lot of people waiting, but the computer system has collapsed. So, because, usually in the elections, you have to go to a specific place where designed for the people who live around. But the system today has changed, and as they didn't know if the central government will close some college, you could vote in any college you vote to. So there has been a problem with the computer system. After that, it have arranged, but there was big queues, people waiting. And when I have gone this evening, the police has closed the college.
Okay. Could you speak a little bit louder because I'm not sure. I cannot see. Let's see if we have a few visitors at the moment, but it could be that they cannot listen to it. As I'm not used to do it, so until now, I don't know how to fix it. That's why we will follow the interview. We will see how it works. I wanted to ask you, there's a big conflict between Spanish and Catalan, especially today,
Yeah.
because of this referendum. To be a little bit more positive and saying what have Spanish and Catalan in common, but not as human being, because we all have our nose in the middle and we are all the same. We're not racist. But what do they have in common, maybe in system or in thinking?
First of all, we have been together for 50 years, 5 centuries, sorry. And especially, I think that the most common thing we have suffered all of Spanish was the Franco dictatorship. This is, I think, is a common point all the Spaniards have gone through. There is also some difference. Maybe I would say that Catalan people, it's a bit more European in thinking, and maybe more, we really like to deal, to make trade with other people. And I would say also that maybe we are a bit hardworking than the rest of the state.
So you mean if you're more European, what do you consider a European way?
European way, I will say a bit German way. We are serious people. We try to be punctual. We try to feel the delays we have to do, and this kind of thinking.
Yeah, and you think that the Catalan are more like this? How you explained it? Okay, more punctual, more on time, more maybe better education, maybe better economy. What would you say?
See, I suppose, in fact, actually in Spain, the industry traditionally has been gathered in Catalonia and gathered about the country, Basque country. Have been the places with more industry.
Okay, I ask myself, do you want to mention what did you vote or what you wanted to vote today?
I wanted to vote no, because I don't think that independence is a solution. But I will say that, on the other hand, you have to think that now, how is today the situation? I will say that 80% of Catalan population will vote. They want to vote. That's a fact.
So it doesn't mind if yes or no, but they insist to say we want to vote.
Yes, I will say that the Spanish president, Mr. Mariano Rajoy, It seems that he's in the payroll of the independentist groups. I mean, he hasn't acted properly because it's not a problem of today. It's a problem that has lasted some years, and today it's the making point. No? But he hasn't known how to react about this. He has wait for things, and now there is a danger of division between the Catalan society.
Okay. Could you try to speak a little bit more louder, because maybe
Yes.
because of all the acoustic here, we are not sure if everything is covered.
I will.
Perfect. What do you think? Do you personally, Alfred, do you fear the independence?
I think independence won't be good. First of all, the problem with all this matter, with this thing, is that politicians are appealing more at the feelings, at the emotions of people, than not to the reason.
No.
And unlike I don't know, Scotland, like Scotland, they agreed to make a referendum, and the Scottish National Party had to provide information about the possibility of being independent. Here in Catalonia hasn't happened. So nobody says what it means to be independent and what will be the consequences. You know, people will be independent because it's fed up with Madrid or with some politicians' attitudes. But they don't know, they don't have the real information about what will happen after that.
So what you think what is missing is a really concrete plan?
A concrete plan, a really concrete debate, serious debate about this. I mean, first of all, it's not an easy thing. We can see in England with the Brexit, you know, it's not a matter that it's not to leave your house, please goodbye. And it's a complicated thing. It demands a lot of time and a lot of conscience. And the fear is that if we are out of the European system, the European Union system, the fear is that we have to search for some currents. And I think that especially in the start, independence will be insensitive to the people.
Okay, but so what would be also the reason to stay in Catalonia? Only because otherwise they will not have a plan, or don't you think they will get a plan in Catalonia? Or why should Catalans stay in Spain?
In Spain. Well, every day that go out, it's a bit more complicated to answer this. But there are some solutions. I mean, I think that the president of the Catalan autonomy, the president of the Spanish government, they have arrived to a point of no return. They have to see, they have to dialogue, they have to speak about the problems that we are facing.
What problems are you facing? Because in concrete, what is it?
Well, this is about the power of. I mean, this is a political problem. With politicians, you know, it's all about power and economy. I mean, the central government doesn't want to give more power to the Catalan parliament, and the Catalans they want more power. They want to have property tax and things that Mr. Rajoy doesn't agree with. But the problem here in Spain is that it's really difficult to change our constitution, because you need at least 2/3 of the members of parliament that agree to change it. So we are facing an old-fashioned constitution from the 70s, and it's difficult to change. That's the problem.
And why is it so difficult to change? Because there are. Tell me why it's so difficult to change in Germany, especially where I know it. There you need a big minority to change something, but most of the time you can get it, and then finally you can change it. What is happening in Spain?
In Spain, when was made the constitution, it was made in this way, that it was really difficult to change. We have a constitution of circumstance, but you have to think that we were going after a dictatorship, and it wasn't a bad constitution in this time, but constitutions are small in you can change it. The problem is that, as we need to say of the members of parliament, if the main Spanish parties doesn't help to revoke the constitution and change something, it's impossible, because the regional parties like Basque Country or Catalan will never have two-thirds of the cabinet, that's a big problem.
So in fact, could it be also a problem because of not having a centralistic state or not having a federal state? You're something in between.
Federal state, it could be a solution. The problem is, I think the main problem, in my view, is that Catalans were complaining about their rights, about articles in the parliamentary constitution that were run from Madrid, and Madrid hasn't reacted properly in this time. I mean, when the people started to move to set up about this, to me, my view, was the time to speak, to negotiate, and we wouldn't arrive at that this kind of situation.
Of course, you cannot know what Mariano Rajoy, the president of Spain, is thinking. But what do you think? Why is he not open to negotiate? Is there what reason? Only because of personal reason? Because he's stubborn, or why? Maybe are there interests from behind, or why they are not open to speak?
Well, the Conservative Party, that's the main ruler, the PP. The Spanish Conservative Party, it's curious to see when, especially when they get the absolute majority in Parliament, they are a bit ex-Franquist people. So they have the thought of the United Spanish, and without any other possibility than the one we have.
Okay, this I can understand, but saying you have a problem in economy or maybe in dealing or something like this doesn't mean that you want to get independent. So if you are having PP as a party and say, okay, we want to have the unity of Spain, but in this case, because of economy reasons, we would change. But also this is not happening. What do you think? Why? You don't know why, but maybe you can imagine.
Because it's almost impossible. I mean, PP, as a constitution, it's old-fashioned, and they feel that they don't want to change it, and they are searching all the judicial, all the things they can, but to try the things remain the same. I mean, it's in Spanish we say avestruz political. You put your head under the soil, under the earth, and you wait that things happen.
Okay.
It has been a bit with the crisis. In Spanish now it's going out of the crisis, not for some wise political decision. We are going out because everybody is going out.
Yeah. So the time is passing.
Exactly.
Because time is passing, sometimes it's getting a little bit better because time is passing, but it's not getting better because you did a renewing or you did something new.
Of course, if you don't tackle the issues, you can arrive to this point that we are today.
I see. So now we are coming nearly already to our last question. If you say you voted no, or you want to vote no, let's see if you can get it after our interview. I wish you could do. And now let's try to make an example. Imagine you have a 15 years old child. And time by time, not always, but sometimes you also were punishing this kid for coming home late, for, I don't know, to doing stuff you don't like. And finally, this kid, 15 years old, tries to say, I want to go, I want to leave you, I want to go out of home, I want to leave my family, I want to leave my father. What, as a father, what would you do to this kid?
Well, I think first of all you have a big problem, and the first thing you have to do is to think about how you have arrived at this issue, this problem. It's a bit, I don't know, it's a good example, no? I mean, if someone wanted to live to your house, you can try to convince him, but you can force him because it doesn't work like this.
The only reason why I could say, oh, I can understand it is like saying, okay, you're 15 years old and it's illegal to go because you're saying you are not 18 and you are not independent enough.
Yes.
And you would say, okay, it's illegal, that's why I cannot let you go and I will close the door for this child, of course, in a metaphorical way, speaking for Catalonia. So, but if the father is making the rules in the family, do you, as an individual kid, have the right to go? I think no, but how, I think this is the collapsing moment.
I think it's a big way we're taking all the time. When you have a problem, you have to tackle the problem. You have to find solutions, and usually, especially in politics, you have to negotiate. That's if two agree to search a solution, you can always find a solution. What you can do is what is doing the central government. It's only punishing the kid without any counterpart. That's it.
I see. So now I can also start to understand why you are saying no. Because you're not saying no like revolutionary against the yes. No, because you're trying to say I want to have another manner of negotiation. Of another.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I think that normal people, or majority of people, want the same thing. So you want a job to secure your future. You want to have some money to live, to spend, and to live in a bit of condition. And that's all. Life is that's all here. I mean, maybe some young people, radical people, want to do weird things, but Catalan people is normal people, as the rest of Europe. But people who were independent is nowadays are changing his mentality because they see that the PP doesn't want to negotiate. They don't offer anything in counterpart, and that's the situation.
Okay, so what is your personal result? I'm trying to give a little overview what happened now from my personal point of view today. I think today a lot of people were showing that they want to vote. They were waiting in front of the election. They were waiting for the voting, and early in the morning they are also waiting. They were waiting for the police, for the Spanish police, closing doors and trying to avoid this. Also, we saw that there was quite violence in between some people who wanted to participate in the referendum and other policemen who tried to avoid this. But in general, what is your personal result of the day, and what do you think? How will be the next 2 weeks? Let's say the very close future.
Yeah. Well, it's what we're saying. I mean, I think that today people of Catalonia has has shown to the rest of the world that they want to vote, they want to say something about their future. So, as we said before, it's a political matter that has to be resolved with negotiation. I think that the central government has to do something and then try to fix some issues.
So you don't think that whatever the result will be, if yes or no, and it's quite sure, I would say that the yes could win. Although, let's see. Okay, I don't want to say.
No,
I don't know.
That's the problem. That's what I was telling you before. If some years ago PP has agreed to do a referendum a bit in an English way with Scotland, I am sure that no had won. But today, at the dense pass, there is no solutions. People is getting more and more fed up about the situation. And today, I don't know what will be the result. But in every case, we won't be independent because independence is not the feasible thing. It's not a reasonable thing now. So we don't have money, we don't have natural resources, we don't have anything to keep this country
Running.
running.
Okay. Let's try. I will try to see if we have a few people responding and maybe a few questions, and then we could respond. But I need to see where it is. I have no idea. Community. Maybe it is here. No. Comments not. Maybe there is no chat activated. I'm not sure. It's still, everything is quite new. I'm happy that people were watching. If they were watching, I also have no idea because I still have no overview over this. But in the next times, we're trying to give also questions and answers, or we'll let you to give questions, and we will try to answer it. Maybe Alfred will be with us another time. We will see. And we will also see what will be the next situation, what will happen the next days.
Thanks for inviting me, and good luck with
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Thank you. This was the first interview which we could live stream. I tried this morning already with Markus Moschberger. On Wednesday you will see this interview. I will cut it tomorrow or tomorrow night. And let's see if you will have another good impression about someone who's German, living in Spain, a little bit like me, and who's giving a little bit cooperation, or let's say, cooperation between German thinking and Spanish living. And let's see if you will get a few information in this video. I thank you and say goodbye. If I know how to say goodbye, yes, but I don't know how to stop the stream. Let's see. We will see, we will see. Here is the event. This stream is offline. This is the live control room. And here is streaming beenden, which means finish the streaming.